with 100 laps, he might raise £100. But as he walked, we watched, and the world watched in amazement as the money went into the stratosphere and to a final total of almost £40 million. Its staff clapped for Captain Tom.
Hi, this is a message for Captain Tom from the NHS.
Seen a hurricane and Spitfires flying past in anger.
Leviathan, as the planet sent its congratulations. Of the Army Foundation College for Young Soldiers, and in a specially arranged investiture, he received a private audience at Windsor Castle with Her Majesty the Queen, as she awarded him a knighthood.
I have such a kind message from her. That was really outstanding. It really was truly outstanding.
Sir Tom Moore, who inspired millions through his life and his actions, and to leave a legacy to build on his phenomenal success, and the Captain Tom Foundation was created. Its aims include tackling loneliness, supporting the bereaved, and promoting education and equality. He will always be remembered for his optimism, his wisdom, and his messages of hope, the man others, and who implored us all to never walk alone. Bedfordshire. Wonderful to hear Captain Tom's voice, I must say, standing outside his home here this morning. Some floral tributes of staff. Others.
Thank you so much, John, and we'll be with you throughout the morning there as well. And let's show you right now the live shot from Downing Street this morning, where the Union flag above number 10 is...
So many individuals and families have been having over the last sort of 24 hours about him, about his impact on all of us as well. So do feel free to share some of your own memories and thoughts this morning as well. BBC Breakfast at bbc.co.uk.
OK, Carol, thank you.
Let's have a look at some of today's papers for you. As you can probably imagine, they are dominated by the face of one man, Captain Sir Tom Moore, this morning. The Sun dubs him Captain Marvel with a picture of the day he completed that 100th lap of his garden.
The Times highlights the Queen's personal message of condolence to the Moore family. They travelled with him to Windsor Castle when he received his knighthood in July.
The Daily Mail front page features a picture of Captain Sir Tom draped in a Union flag, with the headline offering a last salute for a hero who walked into our hearts.
And the Yorkshire Post features a full-page image and pays tribute to his modesty, vitality, dignity and resolution. The paper calls him a quiet Yorkshireman like no other.
There are tributes everywhere you look this morning, aren't there? And of course, his achievements made headlines far beyond our shores here. This is how CBS News revealed that Captain Sir Tom had died.
Queen Elizabeth knighted Moore last summer after he walked more than 100 laps in his garden to raise money to support medical workers during the pandemic.
Yeah, it's truly, that was absolutely contagious.
It's amazing the impact that he had.
Worldwide
so many
impact.
different places, yeah.
Let's talk about that inspiring as well right now. The Captain Tom effect was positive in so many ways. He gave us hope, he gave us much needed smile, and for young and old alike, he was a source of inspiration.
95 years apart in age, but Tony Hudgell felt drawn to the efforts of Captain Sir Tom Moore.
I said I could do that.
Tony raised more than £1 million for the hospital that treated him.
I'll never forget him. And I'll never, ever, ever give up.
And took to her staircase to climb the equivalent height of the Highland Mountain Solven.
Anybody will ever raise the sort of money that Captain Tom raised ever.
Margaret raised more than £300,000 for charity.
I think he's altogether an incredible person.
Dabrul Chowdhury completed his fundraising whilst fasting for Ramadan.
Tom Moore, he was walking and I requested my son, I can walk as well.
He
over £420,000 to different charities.
The condolence meeting of these there for the family.
Lily Blackburn has cerebral palsy and autism. She walked 15 kilometres. Captain Tom, she said, had inspired her to help others.
Really big challenge for me. If you set your mind, you could do anything and you could achieve something. You are amazing, that I break so much, and it will make a huge difference to so many children's lives.
That's inspired by an extraordinary man.
And about him is that he inspired so many others to... They watched him and then thought, you know, and quite literally would follow in his footsteps.
And then went on to raise it themselves hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Tributes.
Lots and lots of tributes overnight. And look at this lovely tribute. This is Wembley late last night paying their tribute with the arch all lit up. And pictures of Captain Sir Tom there. Great, great picture. As you said, Dan, the world of sport has been paying their own tribute to Captain Sir Tom Moore. He'd been inspired by Captain Sir Tom's actions, which had brought out the best in all of us. In Captain Sir Tom, the honour of being the first member of the FA's Lionheart Squad of Heroes, a scheme to pay homage to inspirational figures. Helen Rollison Award at Sports Personality of the Year just in December, being a shining light of 2020. So many, many tributes coming in, and just a big cricket fan. And he was presented with an England cap by Michael Vaughan on his 100th birthday.
You know, he has been a true inspiration, and it's such a sad day that he's gone, but he's left one hell of a legacy.
As I mentioned, I had the chance to talk to him and spoke very fondly of throughout his whole life, going and watching games of cricket, whether it's down.
That achievement led to global fame and earned him the respect and admiration of millions. Breakfast John Maguire looks back on a remarkable life.
Captain Tom Moore around the world.
Captain Tom Moore ist ein 99-jähriger britischer Kriegsveteran.
And I'm now joined by Captain Tom Moore. Great to have you on the programme.
I know you must be absolutely exhausted, Tom.
No, I'm not. No.
It's amazing, and what I love also is that he's a 99-year-old war vet. You know, he's been around a long time. Inspired by his story and his determination.
Amazing that my super prince can say some things like that. I really can't say how different I feel, but I certainly feel that I've been given a very outstanding honour by the Queen and the Prime Minister.
It is that really need it most. Honestly, I'm in awe of you.
I'm looking forward to that. I hope she's not very heavy-handed with the sword.
His dignity and his humanity meant he took it all in his stride, with a smile, a glint in his eye, and always a wise word.
What a wonderful tribute that was.
Just some wonderful memories there.
Our lives for the last few months. And yet you think about all those people he's inspired and all the things he's been able to do in his 100th year on social media. It's never too late to make a difference to other people, and that's another thing that I suppose we'll remember him for.
It's coming up to 7 o'clock right now. Let's before the headlines gets let. I can't speak either. I go and have a cup of tea.
You do it. The same thing as Carol. News, travel and weather, wherever you're watching. I'm glad I got messages and tributes to Captain Sir Tom Moore. I know he is somebody who you have spoken about in the past. How will you remember him this morning?
Well, the word that everybody's using is that he was an inspiration. And I think he was a wonderful a symbol of people's resilience. Difficult year. When the NHS was under pressure, he didn't just, sit at home. He asked the question, what can I do to help, to raise £1,000, and has ended up raising over £30 million for the NHS. So on behalf of everybody in the NHS, I'm very grateful. And I just take inspiration that he got up and made it happen.
It's been like for you to watch Captain Sir Tom Moore over the last few months. Kevin's got in contact to say he was the nation's lovable granddad and will be missed by all. And Sarah, who's a nurse, has told us, I'm sat here crying over the tragic loss of Captain Tom. But when feeling hopeless, I think we should all remember his phrase, tomorrow will be a better or good day. We must never lose hope, she says. Thank you. Well, thank you, Sarah, for that message.
Yeah, Mick... And I'm just still looking at all those tributes, and throughout the programme we are sort of having a look back, and there's John Maguire has done a piece which particularly made me smile, actually. It just...
you know, an understandable degree of sadness from many people who watched him so close. And obviously our deepest condolences to all his family, most of whom we've spoken to on the programme. Doing, you know, projects about what he did and how he's inspired other people as well. So I think there's a huge age...
You know, just the messages and also the huge generosity. That's what he inspired in people, wasn't he? The generosity of those...
How that's been reflected on the front page of some of the national newspapers this morning as well.
Very good morning to you. Welcome to Breakfast with Dan Walker and Louise Minchin.
Tomorrow will be a good day.
Age of 100.
Well, this is the garden where he walked his famous 100 laps for the NHS.
Number 10 this morning, the Union flag flies at half-mast.
Contribution properly and appropriately at the right moment.
Health, including the Blackpool Tower, Wembley Stadium and the London Eye illuminate in his honour.
The man who helped Sir Tom become the oldest to achieve a #1 single in history, Michael...
Much has been paying tribute to.
Are celebrating the life of Captain Sir Tom Moore, who has died at the age of 100.
It was a life of devotion and service to his family, to his country and finally to the frontline workers of the NHS, for whom he raised nearly £40 million.
It's a sad day for so many, but I would imagine a very proud community around you this morning.
Yeah, extremely proud. Talking to people here this morning, they realise that Captain Sir Tom really put their village, Marston Mortain, on the map, the international map. High that total could go. I think at the time something like 20-30 million. I really can't remember, because at the end, of course, it reached almost 40 million. To do. But there was something very special about Captain Tom himself, the way he sprints in exactly the same way. And just listening to Michael Vaughan, it struck me, you know, that after his centenary, he really played a captain's innings. Well, if it's possible to have a lump in your throat and the hairs standing up on the back of your neck, I think that's what I've got at the moment. He was a very generous man and a lovely man to spend time with, just in real life as he appears on the TV. And I think that especially the last shot in our film, in our tribute there in Spade, some floral tributes are just arriving here near the family. He was a great. Back to you.
John, thank you very much indeed, and we'll be talking to you later about your personal memories of him as well. Thank you so much. It's been really wonderful seeing all the tributes and also just the sort of celebration of what he did for all of us over the last few months.
Yeah, people, but it was a slow and steady walk around the garden, which we've just talked about, which secured Captain Sir Tom Moore's place in national history. Had today is the people that were able to meet him, whether that be, you know, those who were fundraising, those who spoke to him on video calls to thank him for the money that he'd raised, or whatever that might be. He's one of those people who genuinely had an interest in others, and I think that's probably a reflection of why he was able to achieve so much in his...
Right at the end, and he's left us... He's left us richer, hasn't he, in every sense.
To pass Louise tissues because of COVID protocol.
Yeah, but
she's got one herself. But thank you. And it's been great to speak to you over the last few months as well. And thank you for coming on this morning as well and sharing some of your recollections and some of your memories as well. That's Michael Ball. Actually, Michael's presenting a special tribute to Captain Sir Tom Moore. It's on BBC One. It's on at 7:30 this evening. I think so.
We know him best as Captain, but you might recall that actually Sir Tom became an honorary colonel, didn't he?
But, you know, it really set him up for life, and he stayed connected to his regiment, the Duke of Wellington's regiment, which has now become the Yorkshire Regiment, and helped run some of their associations through his entire life. So I think he gave the junior soldiers here a really good feel for how those connections and the confidence and the belonging you get out of an army career really does last a lifetime.
We're seeing pictures of the day that he visited, and you can clearly see he really enjoyed it. You made him an honorary colonel on his 100th birthday. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Joked a little bit about skipping a few ranks between captain and colonel. I was absolutely delighted to salute him on the day. He got a scroll from the Queen with that honorary colonel title on it.
And he was just absolutely taken aback with him, and just wanted to, he said, I can do that, and wanted to set his own challenge, which we did, not expecting it to be anything like it was. He will carry on still talking about him, and when, you know, years to come, he will always say the person that inspired me to walk was Captain Tom.
I don't know what to say.
It's okay.
It's okay.
What was he to you, though?
I'm a hero.
So we've really been celebrating the life of Captain Sir Tom Moore throughout the programme today. Thank you for all of you getting in touch, sharing thoughts and memories, haven't we, been of the people he's helped and inspired, as well as all those stars of professional sport and entertainment, and all of you as well.
Yeah, global leaders have also joined the tributes. And earlier on this programme, the Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, said the government is planning a memorial to mark Captain Sir Tom's achievements.
What do you know about what they might have in mind? Morning.
Oh, we don't know anything yet, but you can tell that the government wants to do something, because the tributes from all across the political spectrum have come pouring out for Captain Hancock. The Health Secretary said it might not just be today that we're remembering him.
And thank him for the contribution that he made.
Here, but think about the ways that we've remembered other people who've made great contributions to Britain, because as you said, it is still early days and people just want to reflect on the great work that he did. And
the funds that he has inspired others to raise have reached the length and breadth of the UK. Every single NHS charity in the country has received funds that he has raised.
So this morning, we've heard so many memories of Captain Sir Tom Moore and tributes to him, but perhaps it's right to go back to where the story all started.
Yeah, because John Maguire is back in the Bedfordshire village where Tom set himself that challenge to walk 100 laps of his garden before his 100th birthday. Morning to you, John. It's lovely to be having you on the programme today. You spent so much time there getting to know the family very well over the last few months as well. And it is extraordinary, isn't it, to look back and think where we were back in last April when we first met him on BBC Breakfast and where we are now, remembering this extraordinary year.
Yeah, we had a sort of a running joke, actually, whenever we turn up, because, of course, all of this happened with social distancing. So I'm sorry to say I never managed to shake Captain Tom's hand or to give him a man hug or to have a beer with him, and the same with the rest of the family also. But we would see each other, see Hannah, his daughter, who he lived with, of course, and we just shrug in amazement. Say to Hannah, come on then, who's he been speaking to today? And she'd get the list out. You felt the list of all the different countries, all the different radio stations, television stations, newspapers from right around the world that he was scheduled to have interviews with. You know, you'd run off and grab an atlas afterwards to check where half of these places were.
What would be the thing that you take away from that time that you spent seeing him work close hand?
Well, I think there was if someone's around for 100 years, they've seen a lot, they've experienced a lot, and this is someone, of course, who served with the British Army in the Second World War and, of course, served in Burma, so will have seen hardship, genuine, proper hardship. Incredible international story, but he never quite lost sight, really, of who he was. It was quite funny. I remember talking to Lucy's son, Max, grandson, just before his 100th birthday, and he wasn't able to join the family, of course, for the birthday because of social distancing and social restrictions. And I said to him, what do you think about your grandfather? What do you think about the fact that he's this worldwide celebrity? He's raised tens of millions of pounds for the NHS. And Max looked at me and he sort of shrugged and he said, well, that's just Grandad, isn't it? As if, you know, tomorrow he might have designed a rocket ship to fly to Mars or something. He was always, even in his 99th and in his 100th year, you got the sense that the family thought, well, that's just Grandad. You know, he just does things like that. And becomes the centre of the most amazing story. For £40 million for NHS charities, but could make a real change for generations to come. And so the Captain Tom Foundation was put in place, and it will continue to take his name into the future.
A true mark of the man, isn't it? That it's a sign in his 100th year, a message to us all, I suppose, that it's never too late to make a difference. Yep. You're watching Time for Morning Live.
Captain Sir Tom Moore, what an